And we are indeed live. Welcome and good morning. It is Monday. We're back in our proper slots. It's start your day, start your week, get ready for a good one. Welcome one and all. Hello, Karen. How are you?
Hello, Nick. Hello, everybody out there. I'm good, thank you. Looking forward to starting my day with everybody after a very, very wet weekend, but we're fine.
That is the main thing. It truly, truly is the main thing. It's so good to have you back this week. Again, Karen, always a pleasure. But of course, we are not alone.
No, we're not.
Of course, in the background, we have producer Richard pulling the strings and keeping us on path and on par. But he's not alone today either, because we've got Emily, co-producer Emily, in the background working with us and keeping an eye on us too. So it's extra special, well-behaved day.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful to have Emily with us today, as well as Richard. Two voices in our ear.
I know. Well, they say as you develop, you can cope with more voices playing in your ear at once. We're definitely going to be proving that today. But thank you for Emily for co-producing with, of course, the regular but special Richard, keeping us on track and on mode. And of course, we will be joined with a guest today, of course.
We will, yes.
Special announcements coming up there, here, there, and everywhere. We've got one action-packed and rather full show today, Karen, haven't we?
We most certainly have, and I can't wait. It's getting exciting.
It is. So let's get the ball rolling by saying, please remember to share, like, subscribe, follow, tweet us, and it's not even tweeting anymore, is it? But share the messages. Tell the world that we are here. We love reactions and we certainly love your comments. So please look, Richard's got help today so he can cope with more comments. So comment, react. Get the likes up, get the shares up, get the word out that we are here to brighten everyone's day. But of course, remember, this is your show. You lead the conversation. So tell us what you want to talk about. Tell us what we're going to be discussing, because you are the biggest part of the process, the SPTV family. And so, shall we say hello to a few people, my darling?
Yes, let's say hello to a few people. I think that'd be a nice way to start our day off.
Fabulous. Kicking off then with Pearl Milligan. Good morning, Nick, Karen, Richard, and Emily, and everyone.
Oh, that's lovely. Morning, Pearl. Oh, that's okay.
Buttons are being...
We have hello, good morning to Nolene Parker from North Queensland, down under in beautiful Australia. Oh, how lovely.
It's good to see you. And Fee Bridge, morning, Nick, Karen, love and light to you both. Love and light to you. And I love that dress.
Oh, absolutely. Very Spice Girl, I have to say. Very Spice Girl. Good morning, Paul Marfleet. Lovely to have you on this morning.
Good morning. And Nick, good morning to you, sir.
My bestie, my spiritual brother. Morning, Neil Payne. Lovely to have you on.
And of course, it wouldn't be a Monday without a good morning to Kelly Rockette. Sending love to all. Good to see you, my darling.
Morning, Kelly. She's doing really well. Our Emily, our new co-producer. She's finding her feet. We have Serendipity 589. Hello, welcome.
Welcome back. And of course, Terry Louise. Good morning, Nick, Karen, Adele, Richard, and Emily. Of course, Adele is waiting in the wings. She's our guest.
Morning, Terry. Morning, May. Oh, Norway. Oh, I bet it's a bit chilly there this morning.
Absolutely. We're definitely reaching out to the four corners, and Chrissy Runnelson is one of them, saying hello with those three gorgeous dolphins. I love dolphins.
So do I. Hello, Bernadette Connolly. Lovely to see you.
And Sarah Walsh, watching along, good morning to you too. Welcome to Sarah Walsh.
Oh, hello, Linda.
Hi, Mum. Good to see you, and good to see Kazza White in the house.
Welcome back, Kazza. Nice to see you.
Hope it's a bit, in all seriousness.
Isn't it nice, Nick? We get our regulars in the morning. Isn't it lovely?
Absolutely, it really, really is. In actual fact, I'll be seeing Kazza a bit later on in one of my open circles.
Lovely.
And I hope things have calmed down up north, because Kazza's from Scotland. And of course, we know that Scotland was particularly badly hit weekend by the storm. So I hope everything's calmed down up there a little bit now.
Absolutely.
Trying to get back to a little bit of normality, if that is indeed possible. So hi, Kaz. And indeed, hello to everyone. Hello to everyone who has tuned in, who is watching. If you've commented and we've missed you, sorry, but we know you're there. Like, for instance, Kim Judd, all the way from Australia, is watching. Thank you to all of you for saying hello. We do go back. I know I do, and I know I've seen the comments from Karen as well. We do go back and see some of the comments and answer some of the questions after the show when we get the availability to do so. So do keep saying hello to each other as well.
Absolutely.
Because the community conversation is something that we enjoy catching up on when we get finished, don't we, Karen?
We do. It's lovely to see everybody and watch the conversations, normally about food.
Yes, I have noticed this too. Makes me hungry, but then it's lunchtime, so it's fine. And of course, good morning to Charlie Davis with that wonderful picture coming in from YouTube, because we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, but very, very soon there'll be another option. The third option, of course, is watching along on the website. But very, very soon there'll be a fourth.
Oh,
the app is almost there. For those that have been watching in previous weeks, Richard is designing, building, creating, writing an app for Android to begin with. iPhone will be later down the road. But for all of you guys who've got an Android phone, there's going to be an SPTV app. And at the moment, the list of features and functions is this. There will be schedules. You'll be able to watch the live shows. You'll be able to read about the shows. You'll be able to see and read about the hosts. There'll also be a card of the day. But as it's nearing completion, there's a question from producer Richard. Is there anything missing from that list that you'd like to see, if at all possible, that he might be able to plug into the app before it goes live? Once again, SPTV is deeply community driven. And so therefore, if you think that there's something that we have missed as a suggestion for one of the features of the apps, it's not finished yet, but it's getting close. So if you've got an idea, share it. Richard and Emily are feeding and sorting through all of your comments as we speak. He will see your comments, and if he thinks you've got a winner there, he will bring it up. And speaking of winner, Mr. Hughes, good morning. That is a gorgeous picture of you and Jar Jar Binks there.
Morning, Bill.
morning, mate. We hope you're feeling a bit better.
Yes.
And Maxi bit the force. And Ashley Oliver, of course, lovely to see you in on a Monday morning.
Oh, hello, Ashley. Long time no see. Nice to have you with us.
Bless you, my love. So, yes, if you've got ideas, please let Richard know in the comments for the app, because, like we said, it's nearly there. And it's another thing to get excited about and look forward to.
And also, don't worry, everybody that's got iPhones like me. I will nag Richard on your behalf to make sure that that app gets on an iPhone very soon after it's on an Android, because I'll be sending him a little message. Don't forget the iPhone users.
Absolutely. She'll be keeping on. She'll be keeping on. Good question here from Kelly Raquette, and I look forward to an answer from Richard to feed through to you, wonderful, wonderful people. Kelly Raquette says, do we choose the card of the day, or is it generic? Richard, Will one Excellent. So what Richard has said is it will be a randomly chosen card. It will not be a generic one. So it will be a random selection, and he's working on it being plug time. It will hopefully be the Divine Oracle cards, those wonderful cards that Richard created. And there will also be a voice description too, an audio description, I should say. So that's really quite exciting. Speaking of the Divine Oracle cards, you've got 7 days. We will give it a proper plug in a minute.
We will.
But you've got 7 days to get your cards pre-ordered. If we don't hit the target, they don't happen. So please, if you're thinking about what to buy someone as a Christmas present, a treat yourself, all of the above, get some Divine Oracle cards because they are amazing, and we will have a look at them again in a minute. But in the meantime, there's another question there.
Another Paul Marfleet. No, I'm getting excited here, Nick, because Paul must be psychic, because I was actually thinking of this question myself. How about guides, training and meditations on the app?
Mm.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Okay, Paul. So what Richard's just said is meditations, yes, they can be done on the app, but the guides and the training can't really be done on the app, but there can be adverts for what the hosts do with regards to training, because training is a very one-to-one personal thing, and that's what Nick and I do, other hosts on SPTV do, either on Zoom or face-to-face. So if you're interested in that, you can find out about what's going on with each host and what they're offering at the moment. But meditations, absolutely, and that's what I was thinking of actually. A wonderful guided morning meditation, evening meditation would be lovely on the app. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. So a follow-up on Kelly's comment and question. She says, very cool. So each app will show a different card of the day. Yeah, but you will only be able to get one once a day. It will be on a 24-hour set process. You'll only be able to pick one card that day, and it will come up every 24 hours when you pick it. So yeah, it will be different, but you can only do it once a day because it's called the card of the day, which is exciting. But yeah, I do love the idea of the meditations. That is a good thought, and I could offer a few. It seems to be all I do these days is guide people through meditation. I'm becoming quite a dab hand at it, I think.
Oh, there you go. You see.
Well, let's put it this way. When I speak, I tend to put a lot of people to sleep. Does that count?
You've got a nice voice, Dick, I have to say. You've got a lovely, calming, gentle voice.
Well, I've always found it to be a bit nasally, but then you do pick your own voice apart when you hear it, don't you? But I do agree actually about the training and guide coaching. You're absolutely right. It is a one-to-one thing.
Yeah,
it's an individual thing. And of course, as there'll be plenty of adverts and pages about the various different hosts, if you resonate with one of us, you can find out our details, find us, and find out what it is that we're up to, and join along with our life outside of our window of being a postage stamp in your life. That's how I always describe people as I talk to them, these postage stamps of life. And it's really, really strange when you meet them.
It is.
You feel like you've known them forever, but you've only physically just met that moment. But it is uplifting and it is great, and it's a great question as well. So
and how many times when we meet a person that we've only seen on Zoom, you either say, I thought you were taller, or I didn't realize you were that small.
Yeah, height bingo. It's potluck at the best of times, but it's brilliant too. And it's always, you're absolutely right, it is always the first conversation.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hello, or
or hello.
Usually it's hello for me, but there you go.
Me too.
But yeah, two very, very good questions there. Right, that we've got some comments coming in regarding screens being frozen. There are no reported issues from Facebook or YouTube, and the signal's running okay. So just wave us in the air. It's that old-fashioned way of fixing the internet, isn't it? Wave us in the air, or stand closer to the router, or just, pause and play again. It could just be a random glitch, but I'm sure it will be fine. And as the system warms up, it will flow like the smoothest of cream into your hearts, as is the spirit.
Yes.
Right, yes. Just a note for new viewers. If you expect to see Richard when he's talking, when we briefly pause, I've got into the habit of doing this so people know Richard is speaking. It doesn't make any difference to me, but it is just this way of saying, voice coming in from above. You will not see Richard. He will not put his face on the screen. On very special occasions, when Pluto is aligned with Jupiter, Neptune, Mars, and is in direct right-hand alignment with the moon, he might come on and speak to us. But usually Richard, bless his heart, he likes to stay in the background, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. So if you've got a brief pause and we're doing that, it means Richard's downloading from the great producer cloud in the sky to give us information we need to share with you. So hope that clears it up.
For those of you that can go back as far as me, Richard is a little bit like Charlie from Charlie's Angels. You just hear his voice, you never see him.
I don't know whether we're his angels or something else. It has been discussed once or twice, hasn't it, Karen? Bless you. Oh, so moving on, thank you everybody for your suggestions, and I know Richard will keep a list of the things that he's seen that he likes, including those meditation ones for sure.
Definitely.
But these cards, these divine oracle cards, they are amazing. We've worked with them, haven't we, Karen?
We have, and I actually ordered a pack this weekend. That's what I was telling Richard earlier. So I'm really excited, and I want to hold them because I've seen them on the digital version, which are amazing to look at and to work with. But I like to hold them, and I also work with cards when I'm doing my teaching as well for beginners, because they're a great tool. And I'm thinking, well, if I like them, I might even buy them for a Christmas present for friends, because I know I've got friends that love collecting cards. So think about that. Christmas is only about 9 weeks away, so somebody told me. So 9 weeks. So they would make a lovely present for under the Christmas tree. They really are very special.
Yes. And you know what? Where else could you say that you're holding a physical copy of a bespoke, personally designed pack of oracle cards that you can then mirror on an app?
Exactly.
So you can then go and get your actual physical card and have a closer look, a zoomed up look, feel it in your hand, look through all the details. It really, really is. I've ordered my pack. I don't ask people to do things if I'm not going to do it myself. And so I've ordered my pack as well. I'm really looking forward to having it, and I want to have it, but we need to hit the target for sales in order to be able to afford to produce them in physical form. And we've got seven days left. So, you know, if that deadline is hit and we hit the sales, then they can be produced, and I'm sure they'd be here ready for a Christmas present.
Absolutely.
But don't take my word for it on how beautiful they are. Let's have a look at a bit of VT and see for ourselves the Divine Oracle cards produced by SPTV.
The SPTV Divine Guidance Oracle Pack, a unique blend of inspiration and artistic beauty. Our captivating set of 78 cards combines the power of ancient archetypes, celestial guidance, and the essence of life itself to provide you with a unique tool for self-discovery, clarity, and transformation, all lovingly housed within an exclusive rigid box. The pack includes a booklet that delves into every card in detail, some of which carry dual meanings for deeper interpretation. The booklet also features 8 distinctive card spread layouts. Among these treasures, you'll discover 22 major arcana, 9 main archangels, 4 elements, and 40 life cards, each a work of art, radiating beauty and delivering profound messages that resonate deeply within your being. The SPTV Divine Guidance Pack, where beauty meets enlightenment. Pre-order today and unlock the extraordinary wisdom that awaits you. To be among the pioneers in experiencing our forthcoming collection and to reserve your pack in advance, as well as to access more details, including a sample audio description, kindly visit sptv.uk/cards.
And we is back, and we're joined by another co-producer now, Sophie, who's been keeping an eye on things and getting things ironed out and the kinks getting straight. We've had lots of comments, and I want to get through a couple very quickly. Leonard has asked, will there be readings today? Absolutely, yes. Keep your questions coming in. We'll try and seek you out and perhaps give messages throughout the show, and then of course we will have a marathon of messages during the show as well. But we've got a lovely question here from Fee, haven't we, Karen?
We have. With a lot of people suffering with their mental health, there could be a positive thought for the day quote. I think that's an absolutely amazing idea, Fee. During lockdown, I got my circle group to sit and write out some little positive quotes. I made them look pretty, and we put them on the church website, on the church Facebook page. And I think, you know, I used to walk about with my handbag when I first came into spiritualism with a positive quotes of the day book. And sometimes before I started my day on the train, I would open it up. Yeah. And it would give me a little bit of a motivation. So I love a positive quote for the day. So I'm sure Richard will add that onto his list. That'd be fantastic.
In actual fact, why don't we take it in turns and record a few? Then we really can start everybody's day every day.
Definitely. I think that's a great idea.
There, wasn't it?
I think that's a great idea.
And of course, it was Leonard Bennett who asked the questions about readings. Yes, we will endeavour to give readings throughout the show, and of course we will have a marathon of readings during the show as well. So stay tuned for messages, stay tuned for comments, thoughts. We will of course have Kate May, we'll have what's coming up on SPTV throughout the week and ahead. But first, we have a guest.
Oh, we do, yes. And this is really exciting because she was with us a couple of weeks ago, wasn't she? And she's come back to be with us again because she's got her own special show starting on this coming Friday. So it's going to be really wonderful to have her back so that she can talk to you. And I know all you lovely viewers loved talking to her, and I'm sure you can put your questions to her, because we have the wonderful Adele with us again. So it'd be lovely to have Adele with us to talk to us.
Hello, my darling.
Hello, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Yes.
Well, we're getting excited, Adele, because it's not long, and when you came on before, it seemed like that was weeks away, and now it's this coming Friday. So it's really great to have you with us. Are you getting excited for your big debut, shall we say?
Yes, I'm massively excited, especially as I've got it confirmed who's going to join me as a guest. So
do we get an exclusive reveal?
Yeah, can I say? Shall I say? So when I joined you last time, I spoke a bit about shadow work, and a lot of people were really interested about it. I am so excited to confirm that Sarah Chapman, who is part of the holistic community that I set up for my home 18 months ago, she's going to come and join us. She is the one that offers shadow work to one-on-one with people, and I've done work with her as well. So I'm really excited to have her with us.
Oh, how wonderful. And if I remember, I think there was lots of talk on the chat about shadow work.
Yes.
So that will be really exciting. So date for your diary, it's 27th of October. What time are you starting?
It's 11 a.m. It
wow.
starts 11
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
How exciting is that? 11 a.m. on the 27th of October, this coming Friday. So, it's, you know what? It's a well-being show, I think, is so important.
Yes.
Because, you know, it's wonderful to have the messages, have the quotes for the day, have the readings, but actually to have the well-being of your physical body and your mental health as well is really, really important. It really is. So what other surprises have you got in store, Adele?
So what we're going to be doing on Friday, so we've got the lovely Sarah coming to join me, and you're very right, lots of people were really interested in this. There was lots of conversation, lots of questions, so I'm excited to get her on board with us. But also my passion myself is meditation, and showing almost like answering the myths that people have around meditation, which is what I had at the beginning, which was I can't meditate and my mind has to be completely still and all of that. So I'm going to be offering a meditation for people to sit down in meditation for a bit, for a short, it's like an introduction to a meditation, then do an inquiry afterwards. So it's giving people the chance afterwards to talk about what came up for them. So this is a tool that we use in the mindfulness for stress and mindfulness for health 8-week course. And it's very much about the inquiry afterwards, because when people are in the meditation, they think, oh gosh, my mind's busy, therefore I can't meditate. So it's the inquiry afterwards, and it's finding out what people felt during the meditation. And also people feel they have to sit in silence, but it's like you can just go and do a walking meditation, like a movement meditation. And that's my passion is helping people find tools to come back to themselves during parts of the day, but without them having to introduce another thing. Does that make sense? It's
yes.
Like, what can we bring in awareness to our everyday life, basically.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It is one of those really, really, and I find it frustrating, bad misconceptions that in order to meditate, you've got to be completely zonked out and sit there contemplating your navel and doing nothing. Most of us don't have that option because our minds are going 10 to the dozen. And it is really about learning to make use of it and deal with that active mind rather than just shutting everything down, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I love a walking meditation, and I do that. I take myself off out into, the countryside or by a beach, and I just walk and I just quieten my body and my mind down and listen to the beautiful sea or the sounds of the countryside. And I know it's, it sounds a little bit cheesy, I suppose, but it does work for me. And I think you've got to find your own individual way of finding where you find that solace and peace, you know, in your life. Oh, it's exciting. I love a bit of excitement.
And Sasha Louise has said, mind, body and soul balance, well-being, great idea. You know, we talk about in our prayers, in our addresses, mind, body and soul. We talk about the mind, and we talk about the body, we talk about the soul, but we don't always talk too much or do too much with the body. When someone's in pain, for example, Kim Byrne has asked, please, if possible, can I ask for some healing for myself and my husband, Mick? Of course, you're in my book. I've written your name down already. And we talk about the soul, and we talk about the mind, but we quite often in this way of life forget about the body, don't we?
Absolutely. We think, yes, we do. We forget that our body needs some help sometimes, and we forget to take care of our joints, of our physical health, what we eat and what we do. So yes, I think that's very important. We should look after our bodies as well, you know.
I'm assuming that there'll be something in the show to that end as well. Obviously not every single one, but I would imagine you cover the whole package, don't you, Adele?
Yes, yeah. So I was in conversation with someone last week about possibly down the nutritional side. So until it's been confirmed, I'll announce that later. But yeah, I have been speaking to a few people about coming on to talk about the food that we put into the body and how it can impact us and the hormones and things like that. So yes, there is we'll be talking about covering all of the areas like the mind, body and soul, like you said. Yes.
Oh, how exciting.
What I love is as a community, so I work alongside 11 different holistic businesses, and they all offer different things. So this is what I'm working with them to bring them all in at different times to offer different things. So that's what I love about the show that we'll be running fortnightly from Friday at 11 a.m. is that it's each session, each week, even though it's fortnightly, each session will be different. It'll be a different topic, and yeah, it'll be different topic.
Have either of you ever done, it's something that I've been wanting to get involved with for a while, either Qigong or Tai Chi? Have either of you ever done that? Because I've done a bit of yoga and I want to get back into that again. But there's something when you see it being done, I've only ever seen it being done on the telly, and I just thought how wonderful those movements and everything. So have either of you done it?
I have.
Oh, you have? Oh, wow.
Long time ago, admittedly, but yeah, it was amazing. Adele, have you?
Yes, I have, but no, so it's interesting because I've tried it from the course that I did, which is the mindfulness for stress, when I became trained as a teacher. There's a module in there which is mindful movements, and part of the mindful movements is Tai Chi. So they combine Tai Chi and yoga, but on a it's very much about just moving the body and connecting the body with the breath. And
yes.
It's so relaxing and calming, and for the mind. I love Tai Chi or any form of moving the body where it's connecting the breath at the same time. Yes.
In fact, Jay Johnson has made a comment there, which I'm more than inclined to agree with. They're all connected when you approach them from a holistic perspective. I would go further than that and say not just a holistic perspective, but a spiritual one and an origin of the dealing with energy. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. What about you, Adele? It's all. I love it because it's all so interconnected.
Yes,
isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's all interlinked. I just want to say massive hello to JJ's part of my little community, and I've just shared your little your live to my Facebook, and Jay's obviously seen it. So hi.
Oh wow. Hello.
So it's
Jay.
possible we'll be having a visit on a Friday morning.
Oh, 100%.
Jay in the future too. Excellent stuff.
Well, I'm definitely going to put it in my diary because I think there's a lot to be learned from from your show, Adele, to help people in all aspects of their life, and especially for me personally, for the physical side as well, you know, to try to help. When you get to a certain age, you start having a few aches and pains and what have you. So yeah, definitely. So
yeah, Sasha Louise says, activating body, mind and soul. The body is full of energy, some that requires no purpose but to give it gratefulness.
Oh, I like that. I like that word, gratefulness.
Yes.
That's lovely. Thank you, Sasha.
Absolutely. Thank you. Now, we had a comment from Gemma Claire Meller about dreams. Is there anyone in your I'm going to call it, because it's that lovely word, collective. Is there anyone in your collective who does dream interpretation, explanation? Because there's two ways to come from it, isn't there? There's the spirit input, but then there's also, we should never ignore the higher consciousness trying to let us know things too. Is there anyone in your group, Adele, that deals with dreams, or is it something you have experience of?
So there isn't anybody within my community that I can think of, or collective, like you said, that specialise in that. However, from my perspective, I can imagine those within my community, within the collective, would experience the same as well, where you've had a dream and you wake up and you try to interpret it yourself. And from my personal experience, when I've woken up, I've often realised my dream has just done a wild, taken me on a real journey, and it's been a wild journey on the dream. But it's always a sentence right at the very end, or a feeling right at the very end of the dream, that I realise that was the message. And it's like they've taken me on this massive journey, and it's like, oh, okay, there's like one sentence at the end, or a feeling. It may be that if I've held on to an emotion that I haven't processed in the day, I've released it in my sleep. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's really important for Gemma to hear. The original question was, in the past month, I've had a loved one and a friend come to me in my dreams, trying to have conversations with me. Is this the start of something spiritual? And whilst I always say it's important to acknowledge that there is input from your higher self, from your subconscious mind, trying to work out your day, regardless of whether it is spirit input, which I would say, when it is friends trying to have a conversation and you're not quite getting it, that's usually a sign that spirit is trying to have an input. But even if it isn't, you're absolutely right. That last bit is always the light bulb moment, the snap of the finger, the boom, as one of my students, Jane, would say. It is that last bit, isn't it?
It's funny when I've had dreams, and it's like your dream mimics life, because sometimes we go through things in our lives, and then all of a sudden it's the thing that you learn at the end of that suddenly makes sense, you know. Yeah. Who else have you got in your community, Adele? Who or how do therapists get involved in your collective?
Gosh, really good question. So, trying to think what with that. So, it's I started from my home 18 months ago, and it started off with just those that. So it started off a space for holistic therapists to exchange their own gifts, so it's like an energy exchange, and so it's all people that are local to me, and then. At the beginning of this year, we set up a Facebook group. So the Facebook group is called Holistic Community, and it's in Camberley, Bisley and Bracknell, and those areas is because that's where I live. So it's an in-person community. And since we moved it to Facebook, that's where it has expanded quite a lot. And so now when we run meetups, but it's not just for the holistic businesses I work on, so it's the collective, it's anybody that wants to come along. In fact, I ran an event yesterday, and there was 10 therapists, 10 different treatments going on, a whole day of workshops, and we had about 40 or 50 people through the door as a footfall. So it's more of a community event. the events that I run, my purpose is to build that in-person community. And so, yes, so there's different ways that people can get involved, either through that Facebook group that I mentioned, or by visiting one of the bigger events like I did yesterday. I normally do them a few times a year, and the idea is people come and it's like they come into a room and there's a whole selection of therapists and different things that they can be introduced to, and a whole day of workshops which are included in the entry fee. And so people, the feedback that I got from people that attended on Saturday was that it opened them up to all these different modalities that are available.
Wow, that sounds amazing. All those therapies going on, and the energy in the room must have been phenomenal, you know.
It was.
Gosh.
An awful lot of energy goes into creating that one day. Yes, yeah.
A lot of hard work as well, I'm sure.
Yes. A lot of planning.
Yes.
In actual fact, just don't take our her word for it. Trudy Husson says, I've had the pleasure of meeting Adele and completed my Rani healing with her. She's a true advocate for the holistic approach and connecting with people.
Oh,
wonderful endorsement.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh,
it's when you know. Pardon? And Richard also said to say hi to Trudy from me, please, too. You always, he gets excited, bless him. And so, yes, hi to Trudy from Richard too. And hello to Paul and Luke, Goishard. Hello to us. Hello to you.
Hello.
Welcome along. Good to see you back. So, what you've obviously told us who you've got coming in on Friday. What's the plan if someone's going to come and see your show for the first time? What would they expect to watch in that? How long is your show? What the structure is? What kind of things can they expect to see?
So yes, we're starting at 11. So it would start off with. So I'll actually bring Sarah on with me right at the beginning. So she'll be at the beginning of the show. So it would give us a chance to, for Sarah to share her journey, because actually Sarah, when she shares her journey as to how she got into shadow work, then people can relate to what she's sharing. So when at our events on Saturday, she had the biggest turnout at her workshop, and it was just really amazing to watch her in that space of just shining and sharing her knowledge and her wisdom. And from that, people can ask questions if they want to. So the first half of the show will be with Sarah answering any questions and just letting people know how they can connect with her going forward. So it won't just be on the show, people can connect with her afterwards, which would be fabulous. And then the second half of the show will be with me. So it'll be with me sharing my journey with meditation and energy healing. They're the two things I'm extremely passionate about, and that's because they're the tools that have helped me the most on my own journey. And so I just want to help other people.
It sounds wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Really
and
does.
I know that everybody's going to so enjoy what you have to bring to the SPTV family, you and your community and all your guests. So we're going to be all tickety-boo, as they say. We're going to be all well within our mind, body and spirit. And Charlie has just asked a question here. Oh! That's a good idea, Richard, the voice from above. Richard has just said, if you want to know all about that, Charlie, tune in on Friday, the 27th of October at 11 a.m. to meet the lovely Adele and Sarah, who's going to tell you all about shadow work. So put it in your diary and then you'll find out all about it.
Brilliant. Yes. And the love, yeah, absolutely. Words out of my mouth, Richard. The lovely Sarah Warman. Morning, Adele McLennan. Thank you for helping me.
Oh, morning, Sarah. Lovely to see you.
Early stages, but we are having a lot of exclusives today.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love being on a Monday morning. Sarah and Richard are in talks about a show for Sarah coming on SPTV. Still early days, no details yet, but it's
getting exciting.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. When Richard gets the bit between his teeth, the whole stagecoach goes rocking ahead. So absolutely looking forward to that. And of course, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but when bit between teeth, keep your fingers crossed, send out your thoughts to spirit, send out all the hope. That would be good though, wouldn't it? But no,
lovely.
Additionally, thank you for such a wonderful comment for Adele too. And Carrie Ann Kearns. I don't know where the Ann came from. I do apologise. I'm giving you extra names now, Carrie. Carrie Kearns. Hello and good morning from Ontario in Canada.
Oh, lovely. I love Canada. It's really nice.
It certainly is. Got a friend not too far away from you as well, another reverend of spiritualism, Matthew Stately, who I keep swearing that I will get on the show eventually. But absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So Adele, we've talked about what's going on this week. What are the plans? Have you got any other ideas and plans that you've got boiling away in the background to share for the advancement of the show?
So I do. I have had it confirmed who's going to come and join me up to the end of this year. So those slots went quite quickly. So I've got it.
I'm not surprised.
I just need to figure out what we're going to cover in those sessions. But yeah, I've got some really exciting people coming to join us fortnightly from Friday. So yes.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's really exciting.
Key one with the shadow work, and then every person, all of the holistic therapists have their own special gift and knowledge and wisdom to share. So it's just amazing to have this platform to just get them out there and share what it is they have to say.
Brilliant.
It can just help so many people. So yes.
I mean, I've been a big fan of holistic therapies for years, and I think it's wonderful that they are getting out there. And they run side by side, and they can help you. They run side by side with the medical profession, and they can help you. And it's another alternative,
Yes.
and it makes you think about your health and well-being in a completely different way. And I found personally myself, it's definitely helped me over the years. The alternative therapies that I've had, so it's exciting.
Absolutely, and I'd like to pick up on that point with you, if I may, Adele, because some of us have been around long enough to remember when first the word holistic came out. It was thrown around as a dirty word. It was berated and criticised and really, really not very nicely spoken of by individuals within the medical community. But that has thankfully massively changed hugely in recent years. What is your experience of, people being directed to you from that kind of environment? Is there any involvement that you have with local medical groups that would send people to you in relation to that kind of thing?
Really good question. I haven't really thought about it like that. I can't say that I've had anyone from the medical side coming directly to me and the community. However, what I can say is that I'm noticing more people are open to the holistic side, but also you've said about it being a I can't think of that word.
Complementary.
That's it. Yes, to anything that's the medical profession. So it's a complementary. Complementary.
I'm lucky that I had a healing leader called Les from down south who spent 10 minutes every workshop talking about the difference between complete and complementary. So it's a word that's now ingrained in my head. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's something you could think about, sharing your posters and your adverts in the local, just a thought.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I was speaking to the local hospital about potentially taking one of our relax and unwind events in there. So it does seem to be, I'm hearing people that, just more open to that. Things, anything that would help, really.
Yeah.
Interesting fact. My doctor at a practice that I was at a few years ago, when I signed up to be his patients, I looked around the surgery and there was all this homeopathy leaflets there, and it turned out he was actually a homeopath as well as a medical doctor.
Wow.
And what he used to do is he used to say, I can treat that medically, or I can also treat it homeopathically. What would you prefer? And I always used to go homeopathically. Because he said, it's the patient's choice. Not everybody believes in it. And his little face lit up when I said, I definitely do. So that was quite interesting. And also a few years ago, we took spiritual healing into a day centre. And we did some healing on the elderly folk that were attending the day centre. And we noticed the difference in them, in their well-being. So, it's getting out there.
Absolutely. In actual fact, Trudy's come back with a comment which I'd love your thoughts on, both of you. Trudy Husson says, in a pain clinic a few years ago, it was very much encouraged to tap into the holistic side of meditation, and that was a great insight of how it's changing. Amen to that, sister.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's one of those great frustrations, isn't it, that it takes a while for something that is different or not of the norm, inverted commas, to actually become considered almost mainstream. And I think the holistic side of those in this way of life, for instance, the things that you do, has kind of like run ahead of the rest of what we do in the spiritual community in terms of acceptance in the mainstream, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. It has. I think they have healers and going into hospitals now as well, which I think is brilliant. In fact, when my mum was still with us, she was in hospital, and I went in. When I left her one night, she looked terrible. I went in the next afternoon, and she was sitting up in bed, and she was absolutely fine. And I said, "Oh, you look brighter, Mum." I said, so she said, "The healers have been in," she said.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's that tone, isn't it?
Yeah. The healers have been in. And of course, I used to take my mum to the church for healing on a regular basis when she used to visit me. So, yeah. So she was so receptive to spiritual healing. It was untrue. So there you go. You go.
So Adele, do you feel more mainstream in your work as time has passed, and certainly in comparison to the other spiritual views that we experience in this half of the community?
So I think my main focus at the beginning was to create a community, but a community of like-minded people and holistic therapists. And it's just kind of the people that are being drawn to what has been created. It's just individuals rather than like mainstream or businesses or anything like that. It's more individuals coming towards the community. But the event that I ran on Saturday, which is the Relax and Unwind with holistic treatments and workshops, that's what is an extension of the community. So again, that's in person, but what I want to do is take that into schools for parents and teachers and take it into companies and corporate businesses. That's where I want to take it. So at the moment I'm not there, because at the moment it's more just the in-person community that I've built. They are the ones that are being drawn to what we're creating, but I am wanting to take it into schools and workplaces. So it'll be interesting to see how well received it will be when I start to approach schools and workplaces. But I think people, especially workplaces, it seems that they are more open to wanting to look after the mental health of their staff. So I think it would be well received. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'd like to think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, let's be honest. I might have said this before, and it might have even been to yourself. So if it is, I apologise. But as someone who worked in a corporate environment, it was gobsmacking to have during the pandemic, especially, but it continued after it. Being given a subscription to a mindfulness app as part of your employee benefits, to have Zoom and team meetings where you could just sit and talk about your feelings. It wasn't a staff meeting. It was just you can turn up and talk to people about how you're feeling that day. And it has become more. Yes, there was a comment from More Designs. There is a lot of ignorance, and you're absolutely right. And it's always going to be a journey. But I think the openness, as you pointed, that it was a perfect way of describing it, Adele. That openness is improving. And when a company like what I was working can do stuff like that, you know there's hope.
There needs to be, Nick, I think, because when I was in the corporate world, there wasn't. And people were very stressed. It was tough. And one of the girls I worked with, she was very much into alternative therapies. And she personally got in touch with a few of us who she knew were like-minded. And she organised somebody to come in once a month to do some treatments. So there would be some reflexology or some Indian head massage, things like that. And it was fantastic. Just so we would go down in our lunch hour, I hasten to add, and go and just sit and have a treatment if we wanted to. We'd get about half an hour treatment. And it really was good. And word got around, and it was mainly, I have to say, it was mainly the ladies, shall we say, the office staff that took that up, because sitting in chairs, being a little bit stressed, always on the screen, phone cricked around your neck and that sort of thing. So the massage that we had and the reflexology was fantastic. So it was just they called it a taster session, and that made some people go out and actually book more treatments. So is that something that you do? Do you do sort of taster sessions? Is this what happens at your workshops?
Yeah, so the event that I ran on Saturday, that is what it is. So everyone has a 30-minute taster session. They still obviously pay the therapist a reduced amount, obviously, than if they were to go and see them directly for a full session. But it still acts as an introduction, and it means that people can come along and they can see a few therapists without it costing too much money, and still experience a few different treatments, and then go on and get a full treatment with that therapist in their own therapy space. Yes, yeah. And actually I run little much smaller meetups from my home, for no more than 10 to 12 people. And that again is the same idea. It's that people can come and experience. So if somebody's not experienced energy healing before, they can come and experience it without it being a big thing. Yeah, and I think as well, because of the community that I've built, it's that trust is there. So they then are trust to come along to experience and see what it's like.
Isn't it amazing when this idea was in your head, and then all of a sudden it's just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now you're going to be with us on SPTV. How amazing is that?
It's funny you say that, because I remember putting the Facebook post out in the local, like my local town Facebook group, thinking, what am I doing? Why am I building a community? I didn't know what I was doing. And even this year when I was set up the Facebook group, I still don't know. But now it's all coming together and I'm understanding it now. Yeah, and it's built a beautiful community of like-minded people. Yeah,
it's what's needed.
Yeah,
it's definitely what's needed.
Now, we've had a lovely question from Fee Bridge about past lives. Now, I've been very well known for having my own indifferent opinion on past lives, but I'll probably share it if encouraged to do so. Otherwise, I'll keep my mouth shut, which is unusual for me. But Fee Bridge says, do you do about past lives? My granddaughter keeps telling us about her past life, where she lived and who she lived with. It's very interesting how some people, and I love this point and I love you for it, Fee. It's very interesting how some people remember and some don't. And it's the understanding on a spiritual level as to why this is. Is there anyone in your community who works on a past life level?
So actually, the Sarah Chapman that is coming on Friday, although we'll be looking at the shadow work side of things, she actually does do past life regressions as well, and I've done past life regressions with her. So yeah, she is within our community. She is the one. But I would say, so I had a healing treatment with somebody else that's part of the community that's going to be joining us on one of the shows, and that was called it was like an energy healing session, but she does it in a way where she uses different tools and connects with spirit and uses those tools to identify where the energy is being released from. And a lot of that was from past life stuff that I was holding on to, and she helped to clear it. So even though so I'd say out of all of the people within the community, Sarah is the one that will do the past life regressions to identify. She takes them on a journey through a meditation and hypnosis, and then the individual will talk.
Oh,
is she frozen?
Back.
Oh, have I frozen?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're back now. You've caught back up. But
yeah, she takes you on a journey basically through a meditation and hypnosis, and so it's through that journey you that can then visualize. So for me personally, I could then experience what she was sort of took me through the past life, and then I was letting her know what I was experiencing, what I was seeing. And for me personally, my strongest, I'm more of a feeler or a knowing. So I'm not very good with the visualization side of things. So I was letting her know what I was experiencing, what I was feeling. And so they all, I suppose with energy healing as well, quite often when we're doing energy healing, it will be released from wherever it needs to. So it's, so where I was saying the energy healing that I had a few weeks ago, it was interesting for me to understand from the healer where it was coming from, where it was being released. And when she was explaining where certain things was being released from, it made me understand, because there was quite a few times in this lifetime where I would experienced something, and I think, where's this energy coming from? Because I am not having this fear from this lifetime. And then when I've had healing or with other people and they've explained to me where it's been released from, or a vision that they've had, I've then been able to understand, okay, that's why I'm feeling it now in this lifetime. It's not linked to this lifetime, it's linked to a past lifetime. So that's because I feel that's what I truly feel and I've experienced.
Excellent.
Wow.
I think there's a huge difficulty within this way of life. And I'm just going to say right from the get-go, I'm not a non-believer of past life. I think there is a huge difficulty historically from the past life of this way of life, especially within the spiritualist community. Back in the early days of formation, you were either a spiritualist and didn't believe in reincarnation, or you were a spiritist and did. And although the two arrangements of those organizations on a more formal administrative level could never meet anywhere in the middle, I think what's been beautiful is that the community has. And although I'm not probably the most straightforward person to talk about past lives, because I have my own views on where that information is coming from, and it is from an existence before this life, so I'm not negating that either. I think it's really, really different, because you've got everyone in this huge boiling pot of opinion, and it can become quite tumultuous, you know. But what I love is, for the most part, everything's on a spectrum, and you've got those with the absolutely nots and the absolutely yeses at each end, but the biggest part of it is somewhere in the middle. And I think so long as we can do that and remember that, we are within a community, and the acceptance of each other's interpretation of how it works is just as important as working together with people. So you know, we'll have to talk about that one another day as well.
Yes.
Go more in depth with that one.
Definitely.
So that's probably going to be another invite back for Sarah, isn't it?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, I think
Definitely.
so.
Yeah. It's one of those subjects, you know, that you can talk about until the cows come home, really, because you've got so many different views, so many different thoughts. People have done it, people haven't done it. So I think, you know, the as they say, the jury's out. So I think you've just got to. Sometimes it's what we do is about the experience, isn't it? It's about experience something. So I think when you're in that experience, and I've never done that, so I can't comment at all. But I have experienced lots of different holistic therapies, so that's why I get excited about those. So, but I think everybody is entitled to their own opinions on what they think about it all. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Do you not find, both of you, that there's lots of discussions at the moment? People are opening up their minds. They're changing the way they think. They're asking lots of questions. And I think that's wonderful. You know, I'm sure you get lots of inquiries, Adele, at your events. Nick, I'm sure you get lots of inquiries in your work as well. I know I love going on a discussion chat as well about unusual subjects.
Good plug for the 27th.
That's.
I thought it was the 25th. It is a good plug. We're actually having. It is the 25th, isn't it? I am right, because I wrote it down. Yeah. On the 25th of November, we're having a round the table discussion on SPTV, doing just that. I've started doing debate days, £2 to come along for a debate. In actual fact, I've got one tomorrow. Obviously not part of SPTV, but I did give away a ticket on SPTV once. And we do random stuff, like tomorrow's is the animalistic nature of humanity. There's a quippier and shorter title to it, but that's basically what it's about. We're going to do angels and demons. We actually did do a debate on past lives, which was thoroughly enjoyable and interesting. But there's going to be, just run the names off again for me, Richard, along with Richard, of course, and myself, the round the table discussion. There's going to be, who else was it, mate? I think it's gone.
Has it gone quiet? Do you mean to say you're having a debate without me?
Well,
Has my invitation been lost in the post, Nick?
I think it was arranged so long ago, actually, that it was before you came on the show. But because we've been planning it for in actual fact, I think he's been planning it since, before I even joined the show. But we're going to do this round the table. It's just going to be anything goes. It is a late night one. I am told it gets colourful.
Right.
Let's just say I can hold my own and anyone else's when it comes to that kind of thing. But I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, people are wanting to talk more, engage more, learn more, discuss more, but most importantly, share more. And I think that's really important. So keep your eyes peeled for the adverts for the 25th of November. Is round the table, because it's going to be awesome. All right, he's going to confirm the other names for it when he's confirmed the other people, because it is still kind of like a month and 2 days away, which is exciting. But yeah, people are wanting to talk more, and they really, really, really should be. I think that is amazing, and I know that means that, Adele, your show is going to be very much taken up on and is going to be a thoroughly riveting watch. So thank you for coming on and talking to us about it again. Karen was absolutely right. It seemed like the 27th of October was a million miles away when we first spoke about it, and now we are 4 days away.
Yeah. I know, don't scare her, bless her.
It's the reality of the situation,
You know what?
I'm sure she's considered that.
You are going to be amazing. So, it's going to be wonderful. So, and it's been lovely to have you back. I'll put it in my diary. I'll be listening in, so you'll have support from people that you know on the show.
Absolutely. And in actual fact, it sits an hour before one of my sit here and go on the computer stations, and I usually sit making notes beforehand. So I will be tuning into 11 a.m. on Friday, the 27th of October, this coming Friday. Adele talking to Sarah about shadow work. So if you want to know what it is and how to do it, tune in then. But we're actually saying goodbye to you now, aren't we, darling? Because you're going to dash off, aren't you?
She's got to go and plan. She's got to go and confirm all of her people to come on for the previous weeks.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much for having me once again and for being so welcoming.
Pleasure.
Looking forward to Friday, and until then, we'll see you soon. But of course, now it's time to get ready, because it's your tarot scope. It's time to get some cards from Kate, because it's Kate May's tarot scope. So, Karen, and what was that? Sorry, Richard. And we will be, of course, giving readings from Karen and myself when we come back. But for now, thank you to Adele. And of course, it's over to Kate May. What are the words we use, Karen?
Roll 'em, Richard.
Hello, welcome to your week ahead tarot readings for each zodiac sign. My name is Kate May, Modern Day Mystic. That's where you can catch me on www.katemay.co.uk. It is the week of the 23rd of October, I believe. So let's have a look. Aries, what we've got going ahead for you. Aries, your week ahead vibe. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Things are moving in the right direction. There could be knowledge, there could be studying, there could be expanding things for you. Take a change, make a chance. No, make a change, take a chance. This is a lucky week for you, Aries, where things are expanding, things are going to start to go your way. But you've got to take action. If you sit and do nothing, nothing's going to happen. Action is going to create a magical effect for you and get that wheel moving. Taurus, let's see what we've got going on for you this week, Taurus. Da, da, da. 9 of Wands. I can absolutely resonate with this. You are coming through it. I've been working so hard on some projects. Okay, Taurus, keep going. Don't give up. You're almost there. 9 of Wands. You might be feeling exhausted. You could be feeling like you want to give up, but keep on going, okay? This week, Taurus, persevere with things. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Your hard work will pay off. Gemini. Week ahead for you, Gemini. Moving into calmer waters, a transition has taken place. You are no longer stuck. Things are gently moving for you. Now, if you don't know where you're heading, don't worry about it. Change is in the air, but it is a positive. A transition taking you from one, maybe a sticky place, into a much calmer place is coming this week. Good news will follow, Gemini. Cancer. A battle card, Cancer. So, listen to everybody's opinions, okay? Try not to overthink things, try not to overworry, but do remember other people's opinions are just that, an opinion. They're not necessarily right or wrong. Try not to get too involved in drama either, Cancers, this week. Step back from things, but it will be important that you listen to what everybody says so that you can understand the bigger picture. Leo. Your week ahead, Leo, King of Swords. Now, you might find you have an Aquarius or an air sign, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, could come in around you this week, make some positive changes. You might look at counselling, you could look at a consultant, somebody who knows what they're talking about may come in around you, or you might seek some advice from a lawyer, counsellor, somebody who can give you unbiased opinion within a situation, and they are very smart, so listen to them. They're not emotional, so they can detach themselves, and that's also the message, Leo. Detach yourself from emotional situations at the moment. Use your head rather than your heart. Think logical. Virgo, week ahead for you, Virgo. Try not to worry. You've got the stress card, the worry card. You're worrying unnecessarily, Virgos. It's stopping you sleeping. You might find you've got a million and one things on your mind. Just crack one thing at a time. But whatever it is that you're stressing about, it's not going to be that bad. Libra, Tower. Big changes coming in for you, Libra, this week. Things might be a bit chaotic. You might get things literally broken down. But this will help you rebuild. Sudden shocks, sudden changes are going to take place for you, Libra. But it allows you to step into some new power and rebuild your energy. Big changes, though. Scorpio. Celebration card. Hard work paying off this week for you, Scorpio. You're starting to realise your worth and you're starting to feel more secure. Could be some happy family news that's coming in around you as well, Scorpio. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You're reaching positive milestones and your hard work is going to pay off, bringing you security, stability, comfort. Sagittarius. 2 of Wands. Moving forward, Saggies. There is new ideas afoot. The world is your oyster. Move forward, take charge of things, move those ideas. There's ideas around you, Saggies, and literally you can just drive forward now. So step into a whole new chapter where there's going to be exciting opportunities. Plan, prepare, things are moving ahead for you. Capricorn. 10 of Pentacles, money, honey. There's going to be security around you this week, Capricorn. You're going to see success around you, and this will be a great week to connect to family members or talk about finances in a family, good sneeze, bless me, in a family situation. But success is around you, Capricorns, from your hard work and long time paying things off. Aquarius, ask for help and support. If not, you're going to be struggling on your own, particularly financially. Look after your health this week, Aquarius, as well. Reach out. Don't be so stubborn that you just stay struggling. And Pisces, money is becoming a lot more fairer, a lot more balanced around you. It could be paying off debt. It could be clearing things. There might be charity or voluntary work that's important around you. Balance is there this week, Pisces. Harmony is there for you. Enjoy some peace.
And we are back, and thank you as ever to the wonderful Kate May for her wonderful tarot scoop. Tarot Scope, a weekly feature that we just look forward to, and
Yes.
long may it rain. Speaking of tarot cards, of course, and the fact that we're going to be giving messages out with mediumship coming up in a few minutes. A lot of questions, especially some new faces today. You are most welcome. Hello. But a lot of questions going on about tarot and divine oracle cards and mediumship, and what are they and how are they applied. There are sadly some very varied views that sometimes muddies the water a little bit.
Yes.
But we're just going to briefly talk in general terms, the basic understanding of the two different camps and a little bit of how they interact, because it's important to clear those things up, especially for people coming in for the first time and wondering what are they on about, which is a question I get asked an awful lot. From my perspective, tarot cards and oracle cards all sit in a similar camp. Certainly tarot cards are a more well-known aspect of these psychic devices. But they do pretty much the same job, as that they can be used for personal psychic guidance. They can be applied mediumistically, but it's important to differentiate between the two. For the most part, when tarot and oracle cards are used, it will almost always start off on a magnetic psychic level, which is reading person to person, reading of the moment. There is a process by which it can become mediumship, and I'm sure Karen will have her views aired on that one when she talks about the mediumship side. But for the most part, when you're starting out, when you're developing, they are useful tools for tapping into one's own psyche. You can read the images. Now, you do get books. You get these little books with tarots. My view on those books is less is more, and I can guarantee you that that is exactly the correct route that Richard's gone down with the Divine Oracle cards that he's produced for SPTV, with a brief explanation of what the card may mean. But we also encourage people to see their own meaning behind it. And that is where the personal psyche side of it comes in, because it's whatever aspect of that image that you are drawn to. And although you can make use of historical attributed ideas and principles to those cards, it really is best to go down your own path. And that is a way of glaringly obvious saying to you, this is what's going on and this is what you need to focus on. And like I said, although they do dip into mediumship in some ways, for the most part, when you are starting out with them, either in a reading or in general, then they are definitely starting off as a psychic link, which is magnetic, which is person to person. Moving on, however, to the mediumship, it's time for Karen to share her description.
When we work with mediumship, basically when someone goes to the spirit world, their physical body dies. Everything that is physical about them goes into the ground, but the essence, their spirit, who they are, goes to the spirit world. And a medium can blend with the spirit world by adjusting their state of consciousness. And so basically the spirit world and the medium blend together. The medium lifts their consciousness up and the spirit world comes to blend with that medium, and you get that perfect blending. And how they do that is they draw close to the medium and they come into the magnetic or the aura, the auric field, which is the magnetic field that surrounds every living thing. And we all, as humans, we have that around our body. And they blend, and so we use our clairsentience. We feel that person draw close to us, and they blend with us, and they put into our minds pictures, clairvoyance, and they use our thoughts, which is clairaudience, and they tell their story using our memories, using our experiences. So they can talk about their life by blending with us and sort of just showing and feeling and seeing, so we can then tell our story. So it may be that it may be that I've got a grandmother in the spirit world and she liked to knit. Well, maybe this person draws close to me and gives me that memory of my grandmother knitting, or my mother baking a pie, or the family sitting round at Christmas. They may give me dates and in my mind that resonate with me, or just a date may pop into my mind, and we can give that information to the recipient. And when we first start sitting, it's slow steps when we start working with our mediumship, and we have to build up that power, we have to build up that trust and that experience when we work with the spirit world. And gradually, when they come forward and they blend with us, they can show us more of their character and tell their story. But it's when the medium steps close, when the spirit communicator steps close to the medium, when we work psychically, the energy is from one person to another person, and there's a subtlety within that energy. When a medium's working, they sense spirit coming close. So we know when we're working, when the spirit world draw close to us. It's like someone coming up behind you, when you feel someone's behind you, and it's done in a beautiful, loving way. When the spirit world draw close, they want to say hello. And I always show how I describe it is, if you can imagine a beautiful thread. There's a line from a hymn, love be the tie that binds, and it's like that beautiful thread that comes from spirit, and that love will never die, because we've loved them here, they've gone to spirit, and they still love you from spirit. We don't stop loving them just because they're not around. We have our memories, we have our stories, and when spirit draw close, they want to say, I'm still here, I know what's going on. And they give their opinions of like they would if they were here. But what we have to be careful of, or recipients have to be careful of, is we have our own choices, we have our own free will. So if you listen to their opinion and took on that advice and go with it, fine. But if you think, actually, I don't agree with what mum or dad's saying from the spirit world, but I appreciate their support, that's also fine. So spirit come to give that support, but not in a physical form, because that part of their life is over, but they are around us still. They can still link in with us because they want to, and because they want to show that love.
Fabulous. Couldn't agree more. We've had a question here from Diana. What's the best way to do a reading in terms of layout? Now, I'm assuming you mean tarot, because with mediumship, it would be usually on a chair. But when it comes to tarot, once again, it's a personal choice, whatever you feel drawn to. It is kind of like a personal choice. There are many different forms. Like, for instance, as you mentioned, that difference between that subtle difference between the magnetic and the spiritual connection, and because it's similar, we can make use of that psychic connection to you to then feel someone come close. So when I'm doing it like that, I would just pick one card. We do it on here frequently, and I myself, I'll pick one card linking to you, and then as I start talking about you, I then get someone come forward from spirit who will then chip in. I totally agree with Karen, by the way, about advice, especially if the person coming through was a duff advice giver in life. They haven't suddenly become all knowing and brilliant. So as Karen said, take it with a pinch of salt. One card draw is usually pretty useful and good for me. If you want something more in depth, you've got the 3-card layout. There's the star, there's the cross. Bless you, Diane. Yeah, absolutely. I like to make jokes about mediumship, so sitting in a chair is one of mine. But yeah, there are books that you can read. I know that the book that Richard has written for the Divine Oracle cards from SPTV have got various different layouts in there, but it's whichever one really you feel drawn to, whichever one would be of most use in that particular situation, which is why mediumship in many ways is easier, because the layout is definitely just sit your bum down and start talking. You haven't got to worry about the positions of everything. It just flows.
I think it's also with if you're new to tarot or cards, less is more. So keep it simple as well, and maybe just do a past, present, and moving forward. That's how I work with it when I use it in my classes. And
I love the fact that you didn't say future. You said
moving forward.
Bravo, my lovely. Speaking of, just before that, lovely. And I believe when we pass away, we just go back home to our loved ones again. Absolutely.
Definitely.
We are with you. But speaking of moving forward, brum, bum, Queen of the Link status back. Thank you. Speaking of moving forward, we are now going to have a commercial break to see what's going on SPTV moving forward from this point. And when we come back, we'll be proving life eternal and doing exactly what we've just been describing. So we'll see you in a bit.
Join us at the Bognor Regis Spiritualist Centre for a captivating mediumship demonstration on Saturday the 11th November from 7:30 p.m. Experience an evening of connection with the spiritual realms, featuring the talents of Bill Hughes, David Hale and Caroline Johnson. For more information and to book tickets, please visit bognorspiritualistcentre.co.uk.
Nadija Bajami, a proficient strategic hypnotherapist, mind coach, grief educator, accomplished Reiki master, and gifted psychic medium, extends a warm invitation to join us on an exploration during a 4-week introductory mediumship course. As a special privilege, this extraordinary opportunity is being offered to our esteemed VIP members without any associated costs. Immerse yourself in the art of refining your innate talents and finding balance in communion with the realm of spirits. The course begins on Sunday, November 5th, at 7 p.m. via Zoom, and details will be placed in the VIP lounge. For more information on becoming a VIP, visit sptv.uk. The SPTV Divine Guidance Oracle Pack, a unique blend of inspiration and artistic beauty. Our captivating set of 78 cards combines the power of ancient archetypes, celestial guidance, and the essence of life itself to provide you with a unique tool for self-discovery, clarity, and transformation, all lovingly housed within an exclusive rigid box. The pack includes a booklet that delves into every card in detail, some of which carry dual meanings for deeper interpretation. The booklet also features 8 distinctive card spread layouts. Among these treasures, you'll discover 22 major arcana, 9 main archangels, 4 elements, and 40 life cards, each a work of art, radiating beauty and delivering profound messages that resonate deeply within your being. The SPTV Divine Guidance Pack, where beauty meets enlightenment. Pre-order today and unlock the extraordinary wisdom that awaits you. To be among the pioneers in experiencing our forthcoming collection and to reserve your pack in advance, as well as to access more details, including a sample audio description, kindly visit sptv.uk/cards. Tomorrow night from 6 p.m, SPTV introduces their new show, Shopping with SPTV with Karen Besant.
Tomorrow night from 8 p.m, Deb Clark demonstrates her mediumship by offering free readings.
And we're back. We're absolutely back, and we've just been discussing, and just for the purposes of the conversation that we were having beforehand, we are actually going to use the SPTV Divine Oracle cards to start off our readings. So remember, when we're reading from the card, it will be starting off on that psychic level, which once again will then say, and when I'm linking into spirit, and you will then know that that's mediumship, because it's always very important to define and split between the two, isn't it, Karen?
Absolutely. And also one thing that is one of my little things is when someone says, and they're telling me this and they're telling me that, who? We need to establish our communicator. Because I think that's really important. And just another little note for those of you out there that may visit churches or centres or demonstrations, when you go to the Mind, Body and Spirit fairs, you will sit at a table, you will have a reading, and that could be with cards and mediumship. If you go to a church and go to a demonstration of mediumship or a divine service, that is where the medium will be linking and just doing mediumship on the platform and just bringing through the love from the spirit world. They don't use the cards at the churches, but if you go to a one-to-one Mind, Body and Spirit fair, or you book a reading with a very good tarot or oracle card reader, then that's what you'll get. But sometimes they do, sometimes on a private reading, do both. So yes, that's just a little clarification for our viewers out there.
Absolutely. And there is subtle differences between platform mediumship and a one-to-one, isn't there? Like, yes, for instance, we wouldn't be as deep and meaningful, and certainly on a private level, in an open platform like this, or on a platform, compared to a one-to-one where it would be much more personal.
Yes,
because we have a responsibility to spirit, and of course to your good selves listening, for privacy.
Yes.
So there are subtle differences fleeting right the way through it, but of course now we're going to do our best to prove. Right. A couple of notices regarding the adverts. It is not the shopping show tomorrow night. It is the showcase. And of course, there's no Minty May tonight either. So just a quick correction there. It is the showcase tomorrow. Did you say with Jennifer? He's muted himself. Yep. Yeah. So it's the showcase and Jennifer tomorrow night, not the shopping. So remember that. Excuse me, someone's coming. So here they come. So yeah, showcase and Jennifer tomorrow night, not the shopping show. That's next week. So shall we give some messages out, Mother?
Oh yes, I think we should.
Do you want to go first this week?
I'll go first this week. Yes, I'll go first. So we'll so I pick a number then, Richard, do I? So right. Okay. So you can pick a number from 36 to 45.
75.
75. Sorry, my ears are blocked to this morning. So it's 36 to 75. So that's your number to pick. That's the number of the cards that we've got. And they are beautiful cards. And so put your numbers up, and I will choose somebody. I'm going to choose a number of. I've got 25 in my head, Richard. Have we got? Right. Okay. So we're just waiting for people to put their numbers up. 25. Lovely. Oh, lovely. 42. Lovely. So we've got Kathleen Moran and Tony Moran. Let's see what card we've got here. Oh, Destiny. So They're such beautiful cards, these. It's
They
a
are.
lovely word as well, destiny. I like
Yes.
that. Beautiful word. Okay. Oh.
So Richard is going to show you the card.
Yep.
And then Karen will start reading from that card, and she'll let you know when she's shifting to spirit. So stay tuned, keep listening, pay attention, because your reading's coming right up.
Absolutely. So I'm going to work on the psychic level first. So I'll be working with the two people that have chosen that card, and then we'll invite the spirit world to come as well. So, yep. No, I haven't seen. I can't see it yet.
We don't see it yet, darling.
Slight technical hitch.
But we do know that number 4 is
Oh,
destiny. Oh, hello.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? That really is a beautiful card. That card, it just makes me feel that both of you need support, because it's coming in with such a wonderful golden embrace, such a love vibration here. What was that? Oh, right. There's a path at the bottom with the sun behind. And I feel that there's been lots of things going on around you at the moment. And I feel that you just keep on this pathway and just stay strong. And I feel that there's a strongness in sort of like being together. And I actually feel that strength surrounds you also from the spirit world. Now, I've got, and it's like she was here even before the card arrived, I have to say. I have a lady that draws close to me from the world of spirit. And I feel that she's coming in as mum. So I just know that mum is drawing close from the world of spirit. Richard, I can't see any comments or anything at the moment. So, okay, lovely. So I just feel it's mum. And I feel that mum was a very, very strong lady. And I also feel that she worked very hard. She was a very hard-working lady as well. And I feel that she never stopped. She was always on the go. And she's a little bit tight-lipped at the moment about a situation that's going on around you. So I feel that she's not happy, and she would always show her expressions or how she was feeling by the expression on her face. But I also believe that your mum was very much, she's drawing my attention to that word on the card, destiny. And I do feel that sometimes she would think, well, that was meant to be, or she used to look at things in a very philosophical way, I want to say. So I don't know if you can understand this, Kathleen and Tony, but I just feel that she just wants to come in with a great deal of support for you at the moment. Now, she's also taking me to a wonderful kitchen. She's just taken me into this kitchen. So I do feel the kitchen was very much the hub of her home. So if you can let me know if you can sort of understand this. Now, would you also understand where someone here has got an issue with their shoulder, something about where they've hurt themselves? There's either through an accident or something like that. I just feel an issue with my shoulder. Right. Okay. It could be Nan. I did wonder. But you understand that. Okay. But would you also understand then that there's an issue with a shoulder? And I don't know if someone's had an accident, and I feel that's someone here. But I also feel that this lady used to be very... if you asked her a question, she would tell you the answer, whether you wanted to hear it or not. And I also feel that she could be a little bit straight talking, but there was a lot of love within her. And she did show her love by the things that she did for you. So I'm also getting with her that she would have made things for you. There must have been sewing around this lady, or creating stuff. I feel that she was quite a creative lady as well. So I just feel that she was quite a creative lady, if you can understand that. Okay. Would you also understand where there's a bit of a do coming up? I get a sense of a party, because she's just handed me a gin and tonic, which is my favourite tipple. Not sure if it's hers, but I just feel, would you understand something about a celebration? Because she's just handed me a drink. But I do feel towards the end of her life there was issues around her chest and her stomach. I just feel something about her tummy coming through there. But okay, so you understand all of that. But this shoulder injury needs to be sorted out. I feel that she didn't mess about on things like that. She's telling you to not leave it. Someone's left it a little bit too long. They've got to get something sorted. And also, would you also understand, I know you mentioned that your mum was here, but would you understand whereby she wants to send love to your mum? And also I feel she wants to give upliftment and support to your mum, because I don't know if your mum has been feeling a little bit maybe not herself, because I feel she wants to get everybody a little bit more excited about life. So, and you can understand that there is a party coming up. So I feel that's also what she's getting excited about. So she comes with a great deal of love, but she's also looking, and she's being a little bit tight-lipped about something. So that card showed sort of a beautiful light and someone sticking to their pathway and like coming sort of out of something and sticking to their guns. So I do feel that you have got to stick to your guns about something. So Nan's still here, but I'm just doing a little bit of both at the moment. I'm linking on a psychic link with the card, and I've also got Nan here. So I'm sort of in between the two, which you do when you sometimes with a private reading. So, but that card, I just want to go back to that card just for a moment. And Kathleen, you don't realise how great you are. That's your Nan's words, okay? So because you don't know your own light, you don't know your own power. And she wants you to believe in yourself, because you do a lot for people here. And she's just come back closer to me, and she's giving me the thumbs up, and she just wants to give you a lot of love. Now, I don't know if you were a little bit of a favourite of your Nan's, but that's the feeling that I get. So, would you understand, hold on, something about the name of Ted or Edward, I feel is connected with, and I think it's Nan's generation as well. So, and also I want to go to a date that was just gone, around the 24th, 25th of September, for an anniversary or a birthday. She just wants to bring that in. So take her love and know that she's watching over you.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And in the words of a certain well-known puppet, that's the way to do it. Bless you. Thank you, Karen.
Oh,
4, please. Yes. Oh. And that was 42 as well.
oh.
Oh, so this is going to be, and normally we would, shall we do a different card? No, I think it's really appropriate that people see how psychic works. No, absolutely. I think it's a good idea. because this shows how people read the cards differently, see the cards differently, and in that psychic situation of reading a card would get different information from different people. And instantly I wondered why I sat there glaring away at the card, reading my own stuff into it. It tied anywhere near what Karen was saying. So I now understand the reason why. The reason being that I've said, yes, let's do 42 again, is because it shows how psychic work can use the same card and mean different things. And that's the whole bit about don't stick to the book, use your own heart. And once again, that describes you, Terry. Do not stick to the book, use your own heart. You are not having your destiny written by anyone for you. You are not allowing anyone to tell you what your path is or where your future goes, because you've been down that road, you've been down that path, and you are now coming out of that path into the light, because the light is behind you and shining the way ahead. And you are frankly sick and tired of being dictated to in your past. So you are not going to allow that to ever carry you in your life again. And I know I can't never stick to the book. Oh, bless you. I know that things have been feeling a bit tight recently, you know, either emotionally or physically. There's been this tightness around you, feeling like things have been getting narrower and narrower and narrower. But what I'm being, you know, given from that to say is that that's you honing in on what you want. It isn't the world closing in around you. It's actually you zooming in on what you want. And I know there are a few things that are cast asunder in front of you still to deal with, but nonetheless, that doesn't stop you from taking your own path. And one of the things that in that image that I'm picking up right now is that even though the arms of the sleeve are hanging down, it doesn't feel like there's a draft or anything. That piece of material that's flowing out is that you are generating your own lift. You are creating your own uplift, and you are becoming again what you should be, the center of your own universe in terms of emotional control and life itself. And long may that reign. And as I move away from the psychic level, thank you, emotionally, yes, I knew it had to be one or t'other. As I link in spiritually for you, I am made aware of a gentleman stepping forward that would be of a grandfather persuasion. I'd want to even go as far as say on dad's side, because as Karen was mentioning earlier with mediumship, they use our own memories and our own. And when I see my granddad coming through, it's not my granddad, but it's a sign that it's my granddad on dad's side, that you would understand, or at least a grandfather on a man's side. I don't know why I have to say that, but thank you. As he steps forward, and as he was stepping forward, I'm aware that he's been waiting relatively patiently. I'm aware that he came forward a bit earlier, getting ready to come through, because my voice suddenly became very deep and very gravelly, and I know that there would have been some kind of breathing issue, because I felt very dizzy, and it suddenly felt like I'd got a lack of oxygen. I was like starting to feel very woozy. So if not for a lack of oxygen, it would have been that feeling that he would have experienced for a period towards the end of his life. He's not being very specific about that, but when I push more about his condition of passing, I'm told in no uncertain common English terms to mind my own business. Notice that I translate that rather than give the exact term, because he was a very uplifting gentleman. He still is a very uplifting gentleman, but there were certain lines you did not cross. Not aware of the breathing difficulties. Would you be aware of that dizziness then? It's to do with this that's what I was getting as I felt something around my neck and throat, and I felt this dizziness. If I misinterpreted that, then obviously I apologize, but there was definitely something to do with my head and my dizziness, and I do feel rough in the throat. So if I interpreted that again, sorry, but I've got to say, I know where you get your no nonsense, this is a line, don't cross it attitude from. This was very much how he was, is, and still will continue to be, and how you should continue to be. I'm being told that from this gentleman that got to go back to the breathing. There's still some, right. You have not been taking a breath. You have not been taking a breath. And that's meant that you've been slipping a little bit. As in, you've been relaxing a little bit more with certain individuals than you should have been. It's a family trait. Yeah, it feels like it. But what this take a breath. You've been opening up a lot more, and whilst that's good, he's still saying, you know, you and the breathe. Yeah, thank you. You've been relaxing and opening up with some people a bit more than he would see fit because of that line. However, he goes back to the words, none of anyone's business. So I do know that that's what he's kind of drawing, that parallel with the lines, people minding their own beeswax. Okay. This gentleman was very thoughtful in his own way and very misunderstood in his own way, in the sense that I'm feeling a great deal of passion with this gentleman that isn't visible on first inspection. But he was a very passionate man, a very kind man, a very gentle man in his own way, where he needed to be. And so what he wants me to say to you is, you know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know what's on the path, you know who, when, what, and why to trust. So stop doubting yourself and just relax more. Take that chill pill and get on with it, because it is time to spread your wings and fly. The sun is behind you, so is he. There are 3 things that must matter to you right now, and those are the things you should focus on, because they are in the highest position. Everything else can take a back seat for a little while, so long as you focus on these 3 things, but add to that yourself, because you are the source. Doubt yourself all the time and rarely relax. I've got to say that even though I know you, Terry, I don't know you. We've met for all of like 5 minutes in the physical world, and that was a hello and a goodbye. But I wouldn't have said that you were someone that doubted yourself, but this is what he says. And you shouldn't, because he was always praising you up to other people. That's important. Thank you. He was always praising you up to other people. That's important for you to know. It's almost like you would let other people know how proud you were. And there's something about not necessarily being told yourself. Please don't make that a family trait. You mentioned the word family trait. I've got to draw back to that. Please don't make that a family trait. I've also got to say the number 42, whether you chose it because it was of a personal memory or meaning, there is a personal meaning within that. And I've also got to say the number 11, being the number of the angels, isn't just the number of angels to you, it's a significant date. And I also have to give you April as well as being a significant time. So I hope that helps for you, my love. Never read for you before, you probably won't allow it ever again. God bless you, my sweet. Hope that helps, and I'll say God bless.
Oh, that was lovely. That was lovely. But do you know what? Sometimes it's hard to read for people when you know about them. But you did an excellent job, and we should never shy away from that. I don't think, because
absolutely, you know, because we learn more about ourselves as mediums.
Yeah.
Sometimes we learn a little bit more about the person we're reading for as well.
Well, that's very true. But also, but also there's. And we can pull on the evidence and things and blend with that person that we don't know anything about.
Exactly.
And that's always a good bit of evidence as well. So is it my turn now? Is it my turn now? Okay.
It's 11. It's 12:30 actually.
Oh gosh, have we come to the end? I can't.
It is 12:30.
Wow.
We've managed to get some readings in. We've had lots of lovely chats. We've had some wonderful debates and touched on some really, really important topics today, I feel. So as ever, Karen, thank you for sharing your morning with all of us.
I absolutely love Monday mornings on here. I really do. And I hope the new people that have joined us today have a little bit of a better understanding about how psychic works and how mediumship works. And come back and join us again, because we're always here every Monday. Come and start your day with us, because it's absolutely brilliant and I love it.
It's fun. It's fun. We have some fun. We have some giggles. We're serious when we need to be. Kelly Rocket over too soon as per usual. And we actually increased the length of the show a couple of months back. You know, it didn't used to be the whole 2 hours. We've extended it, and still it's not enough. But thank you, Karen. And of course, we must say a special thank you to producer Richard, co-producer Emily, and co-producer Sophie for helping out today. And yes, I totally agree, Terry. Need to allow more time for readings. It's just so much to fit in. Much to fit in, and we will be more spread out next week too. But again, thank you to all of you for watching. And as Karen said, you know, for those that are new today, come on back. The family's lovely. You'll recognize faces in the comment, or at least names and pictures in the comments across all of the different shows, which are always exciting and wonderful to look forward to. Of course, we've got did I see Deb Clark tonight at 8 o'clock? Oh, there's no Minty tonight. So there's no Minty tonight, but we're back tomorrow at 6 o'clock with the showcase. So do look out for that. Join in the community, chat away, become a VIP, buy some Oracle cards, because I want one.
Me too.
But until next week, thank you all. May the peace of the Great Spirit go with you. So from me, it's goodbye and God bless.
And from me, it's also goodbye, God bless, and have a wonderful week. It's been lovely to share this time with you. See you soon.
God bless. Bye.
Bye.